Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Lynn and today I am going to make a magic wallet card, and it is so easy to put together once you've prepared everything, which I've already done. I'm actually going to attempt to film this in real time just to show you how quick and simple it is to put together. Let me show you the project though in case you are not familiar with the magic wallet. It's an actual wallet style that you can buy, and in the wallet version where you would carry cash, credit cards, and whatnot, you would typically see this as leather, and then for the ribbon, where I've used ribbon, they would typically use something elastic so that it can stretch a little bit, and the more money you put in, for example, it can actually expand to hold on to that, but as well so that it actually holds it in pretty securely. I've just used ribbon for this, and I'm making them as gift card holders, as you can see. This one I've made with an older collection. Well, not too old. It released, I think, earlier in the last 12 months or so. This is P.S. I Love You, and here's what's fabulous. The reason why it's called a magic wallet is keep your eyes there. It's at the top right now with the ribbon that goes parallel. Open this the other way, and all of a sudden it's down here. So really, really fun, super fun to play with, and really easy to make. I have chosen these particular dimensions for two reasons. One, it works really well for gift card holders. Two, if you like to get the 8x8 pattern papers, this only uses one sheet plus maybe some ephemera or something from the cut apart sheet, but you can get all four panels that you need to decorate from one 8x8 if you follow the same mats and layers that I'm using here. And it's also just like a really fun size to create. Not too big. You can imagine maybe putting photos in here. You could put a photo behind here, and that way you can always kind of carry around a photo of your family, but you can kind of swap it in and out as well. So there's a lot more that you can use this for than just giving gift cards. So this one is landscape oriented. Normally with a wallet you would see it portrait oriented, so that's what I'll make here. This, I'm starting off with 110-pound cover weight, and I've just cut this out of black and rounded the corners. This one, I don't think I rounded the corner very well. Okay, there we go. And I have two of these cut to 4¼ tall by 3¼ wide. Two of those. I've got my bit of ephemera that's going to be for the front cover as a bit of a focal image. Then I have an extra little card part. This will be for the back cover. Then I'll use two pieces for my outside cover, front and back. Each of these pattern papers has been cut to 4 inches tall by 3 inches wide. So 4 inches tall means you can get two of them for stretching one way in the 8x8, and you can, if these were all the same papers, you can imagine actually getting all four of these, because all four combined would be 6x8. And the beauty of using a double-sided pattern paper is on the outside you could use one side, and then on the inside you can flip it to the back and use the reverse. So you could definitely use one sheet of 8x8 if you wanted. I just have some leftover scraps from a previous project where I've crafted with Let's Get Artsy, which is where these papers are from. And so that's what I'm using. I'm just going to use some scraps. And so this one in particular is from the Patterns and Solids, and this I do believe is from the collection. Oh, well, this is really nice. Darn, I wish I had seen this. I intended to use this side. It's so hard when you're using pretty pattern papers. You always flip to the back, and I always feel like I want to use it. Let's stick to the plan A, okay? So I'm gonna start with what will be on the inside. So whatever your pattern paper that you want on the inside, adhere that down first. So I'm gonna stick to my plan because I want to keep this portrait oriented so that I can use that lovely cut apart. And this would be really good. This dimension would be great if you have 3x4 journaling cards. That would work really well because these are 3x4. And you don't necessarily have to round the corners, but you could. And as well, in the 12x12 pattern paper pack, you do get 3x4 cut aparts. So that would work really well as well. And so let's get this. So remember, these are going to be my inside papers. I'm going to attach the inside first. And the way that I've cut this, you'll have 1/8 of an inch all the way around, all 4 edges. Then we'll need, now the ribbon is what does all of the magic. And you could cut 4 strips, all 4 strips at 5.5 if you wanted to. But what I've done is I've actually cut one of them to 5.5, one pair to 5.5, and one pair to 5. That just saves you a little bit on ribbon. These are from Graphic 45 as well. They are the satin ribbons that are about 1/4 of an inch. So I've chosen them because they're nice and thin. Some of the other ribbons might be a little bit too wide, where for this size project, maybe I don't think you want something super, super wide. So then what I'm aiming to do is I'm just going to use my grid mat to help me roughly eyeball the center. And I want these 2 ribbons on this side. Let's just focus on this one for now. I want these to crisscross in the center. You could maybe get away with this one with 5 inches as well. I just really want to make sure that I have enough of a tail to really secure this down. And you don't want your ribbons to crisscross so much that they are like that, because remember, we do want it to hold a gift card. So you kind of want it to be a little bit more kind of centered. And so I'm aiming maybe for these to be about 2 inches apart at the tail ends here. So looking at my grid mat, roughly 2 inches apart. You don't have to be exact. This is pretty forgiving. If it's not perfect, it's not the end of the world. I've got some low tack tape here that I will just tack that down to secure it. Now on this side, I'm gonna wait before putting these ribbons in, and you'll see why in a moment, but these ones are gonna go straight across. So this is what we're working on here. We've got the crisscross and then the parallel lines, but we're gonna wait on that one in a moment. For now, I'm gonna flip this over, and now we're looking at the inside. Then what I want to do is on the outside edge, wherever your outside edge is, you want to adhere these ends to the back. So I'm going to make sure it's nice and taut. And when I tape this down, just using some Scotch tape, I'm aiming to stay clear from the edge because I know that I've got some pattern paper that I want to adhere, and it's going to have that 1/8 border all the way around. So I just want to make sure I don't have adhesive that's too close to the edge there. Now on this end, don't glue that down just yet. What we want to do is we want to bring in our other piece, flip that to the side that doesn't have pattern paper. Slip this under the ribbons. So you get these nice and lined up. If it helps, you can use your grid mat, the lines on your grid mat. All right, at the top there, I'll line that up. I'll line that up. And then you can pull these taut. And these ends, the ones that are on the inside, get adhered to the joining panel, not to the panel that it came from, but from the panel attached to the panel next to it. And same thing, I'm just looking to avoid getting the tape too close to the edge because I know I've got some pattern paper that's gonna go down, and that's the other reason why I'm just using Scotch tape, because I know this is gonna get sandwiched in between another layer of pattern paper, so I don't have to worry about anything too strong. I just need it to hold tight for now. Now we have our next two ribbons. You want to lace this behind, because remember, these are the ribbons that are going straight across. So I'm going to lace these behind the panel on the right, and this is the reason why I wanted to wait to get these attached, because you don't want to attach it too low and have it sort of overlapping or crossing over the ribbon that we just glued down. So I'm just getting this to line up basically right on top of it, pretty much. You could even have it touching. That would be totally okay. And what I'm aiming to do is I just want to get it straight across, nice and straight. And if it helps so that you're not juggling too many moving bits, again, outside edge, fold it over, and you can tape this down. On the inside edge, you can pull it nice and taut and tape it down to the adjoining panel. So on the inside edge, we're always taping to the adjoining panel. Get that down. And you want to do that with your last ribbon. Now this ribbon I've only cut to 5 inches because it only needs to cross over this panel, which is 3 1/4. And that gives plenty of room to fold over and get it nice and secure. Now again, I've slipped this under. I'm just kind of butting it up to the ribbon that is crisscrossed over, and I'm just aiming to get it, just eyeballing. It's okay if it's not perfect, because you know that's the beauty of handmade. And if you wanted, you could look on the other side and really try to line it up, or take a T-square to this if you want. But to be honest, I think it's so fun that it's totally okay if it's not perfect. And so I'm just going to pull it nice and taut and tack it down to the adjoining panel. You want to glue this down. Make sure that your two panels, you're not pulling so tight that they are kind of overlapping in any way or anything like that. They should just be butting up right next to each other. So then you're going to have something that looks like this on, remember this is the inside. So this tape that I had here temporarily holding that down, you can remove that. And we are in the home stretch. Now all there is to do, we're looking at the outside now. So you can decide, which way is up if you're working with directional paper, and then start gluing down the mats and layers on the front and the back. So I'm going to use some liquid adhesive to really make sure this is nice and well stuck down, because we do have the ribbon that is nestled, sandwiched in between there. And I think I'm just about out of glue here, so let's use this one. So liquid adhesive is going to be great for that, because it's going to give this a really nice permanent bond. And it's going to give me some time to kind of nudge it around if I need the time to position this where it needs to go. And I think my glue is a little dried out. Try another one. Okay. So here we go. Just a nice line. You don't need a ton, just enough to get that nice and secure. And I'm gonna burnish. Really spread that liquid adhesive out. And while we're at the front of this, I can go ahead and put my focal image. I love these little cut aparts. They're great for focal points. These are just really fun to have on hand. It's such a fun way to give a gift card, and I kind of feel like these are just like little fun works of art also. So I'm gonna make a bunch. I'm gonna have them on hand and ready to gift. You could definitely pick pattern papers that are themed to whatever gift card you are giving out. Say, if somebody you know loves music, you could use the recently released Love Notes. I think that was the name of the collection. That would be really wonderful. If it's around Thanksgiving time, you could use the Hello Pumpkin, which is great. Of course, there's tons of Christmas papers, so these would be really fun to have on hand for Christmas if you like to give out gift cards at Christmas time, which is something we do a lot of. And there's just a lot. Like there's the baby collection that came out too. So if you were giving a gift card for maybe a baby shower, I like to put this little tag at the bottom also. So, and that's the back. Okay, so there we have it. Let me show you. Take this gift card out. So remember, this one was landscape oriented, and this one is portrait oriented, but it all works the same. So you can kind of see how, even knowing how it's put together, I still sometimes feel like it's a mystery how it all works. So really, really fun. It's just really neat to kind of see it move back and forth. There's the back of it. And the other thing is, kind of depending on, what you're going for, one of the reasons to keep these ribbons pretty close to the crisscross ribbons is so that when it does flip over to the other side, there's still enough ribbon to hold on. That's just barely enough to catch it on this side, but that is something that you might want to be mindful of. But that's as easy as it is to make one of these magic wallets. Really fun, super easy, nice to have a few on hand, and that way you can always have something available to give out. So here are a couple more that I've made. This one is the music notes one, so you can kind of see I've done the exact same thing here. And check out this one, really, really pretty, and they all work the exact same, and they're just really fun to play with afterwards. Really easy, quick projects, easy to keep on hand, several of these, so useful as well, and a great way to use up your scraps. So if you're down to maybe your last little bit of cardstock, these are really fun and quick and simple to make. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider subscribing to my channel and ringing that notification bell if you don't want to miss whenever I post new content to my channel. And until next time, happy crafting and have a fabulous day. Thanks. Bye.